All right, good afternoon, everybody. How's it hanging? How's it hanging? Tiger style. My tiger style shall meet your crane style. I'm an associated member of T3 Trading Group, which is an SEC registered broker-dealer and member of and recipient. All of my trades are placed through T3 Trading Group. You should carefully consider whether trading is suitable for you in light of your own financial condition. Position disclosure. I am keeping some Uvixi tonight. I'm long some Taiga tonight. And I shorted some NVIDIA again and kept a little bit of it. Alright. Let's take a look at the charts. Alright. Pat, stop laughing, Pat. I wasn't supposed to do this afternoon meeting if I just have you giggling uncontrollably next to me. Let's turn on the video for the YouTube. Do you want to come wave hello to? No? No? One of your fans. Alright. SPYs finished up 0.6%. Qs finished up 0.67%. The IWM finished flat. So still no participation from this Russell. But the S&P had a really solid breakout today. Really solid breakout today. And just like pretty sick upflow, uptrend here, whatever you want to call it. It's hard to even call it a trend. It was kind of just like a straight grind higher starting at like 9:45 through almost noon. And the daily chart, you know, we broke out. We broke above the 547.50 that we've been talking about for seemingly weeks now, the resistance of this consolidation. We broke out. We are above it. So market technicals here are looking absolutely beautiful. The Qs also looking great. Good follow through today from yesterday's close. Still not above the recent QQQ pivot high of 493.70, but we got fairly close to. Actually, we got right to it. So 493.70 still a spot to watch in the Qs. Qs are a bit weak compared to the SPYs. They're not at their all-time high, whereas the SPYs obviously are. And again, the IWM just no participation here. Another close below 218. It's not able to recapture its level. Not continuing to break down either. You know, holding up as the Mag 7 names kind of lead the S&P higher, but no real continuation from your small caps, your mid caps out there in this market right now. So, you know, I do still have some concerns. That's what I was talking about at the conclusion of my roundtable thing with JR and Sammy today. Is you can't look at this chart of the S&P and not say that it doesn't look bullish. It does. It looks really bullish. We had a breakout to all-time highs today. You don't get much more bullish than that. But a lot of the confirming factors I don't think are confirming. It was a little bit of a low volume day, okay? You can get continuation on a low volume day. But this VIX is also just not confirming at all. Can anyone give me a quote on where the actual VIX closed? I just have the chart of the Uvixi here. But this Uvixi is in a pattern on the daily chart of higher highs and higher lows as the SPYs have gone sideways. Yeah, still have a VIX near 21 at $20.86. So, you know, we'll see. Definitely some hedging ongoing there. I also do still have some positioning concerns that I've discussed with everyone. I think the positioning risk is to the downside from the systematics, but it's also, like I've said, you need something to actually trigger that. You need something to trigger the selling to be able to come in to begin with, and we're not triggering anything. So there's no need from any of the systematic funds to be liquidating. You need something to trigger a feedback cycle that can create selling leading to more selling. So the market continues to look phenomenally strong. and you don't want to fight it. The SPY here is telling you that you're better off being long than short, but I just think that this other information that I'm discussing is something that you should keep in the back of your head, because if it triggers, you want to be able to be prepared for it, and it's most definitely an if. But if it triggers, maybe after options expiration or whatever, where sometimes the market can loosen up, or at any point in October, maybe a CPI could trigger it or whatever. There is I do think a big risk to the downside, but you have to sell to the point where the selling becomes like a self-fulfilling thing, and we're just not doing that. Obviously, we're holding in fantastically well, so you don't want to just be stubbornly short and getting smoked on the short side as this market squeezes higher. So keep all that in mind as you are building out your game plans, and we'll see what happens with CPI tomorrow. I think that the risk on the CPI is to the downside at this point. I think that we're in a situation now with the inflation numbers where, if you get a low inflation number, it's kind of like expected. You can stay the course and continue to get the cuts. But if you were to get an upside surprise on the inflation number, I think that there's a bigger downside risk on that than there is an upside risk on a light number at this point. But like with the other numbers that we've had, like last Friday's non-farm payrolls, if the number comes in just fine, that's not going to trigger any sort of breakdown either. So we'll see if CPI tomorrow further confirms the bull rally that we are experiencing, or if it's not impossible at all for a weak CPI reaction to get us right back below that 574.50, and then you're looking at a failed breakout. So see what happens with CPI tomorrow. But overall, this market is looking incredibly strong. As far as trading goes today, there were some great call outs that I'm kicking myself for not being more involved with. The snow call out this morning was great. I had an alert out for it, and my alert went off, and I called it out, and I didn't get involved. I don't remember if my alert was for 115 or 115.50. I think it was for 115. So communicated that as soon as it went off. Didn't get involved, but it worked out really, really well for anybody that was involved with it. The other one that we took a close look at this morning, which I'm also kicking myself for not being involved in, because I do really like it here. I still have some broader market concerns that are, I think, keeping me from being aggressive on any new longs that I would want to be bigger picture. If I bought sell H today or Snow, I would not have wanted them to be day trades. I would want to swing them, and then obviously they closed well enough where I would be swinging them. But sell H was the other one. Great call early today. Tate was all over this in the VTF. Just a really good kind of break higher off this new absolute pivot low on some volume today with an analyst defense getting above the ADMA. We think that there's some potential fundamental value at these prices finally for this company as well. Pat was talking about maybe there's even buyout potential, maybe. In the past there was speculation around Pepsi. So this was just a really, really good move on that sell H. I know Tate called it out early in the day, and then I know Tate called out the long off this pivot low here at 1040, which is an incredible call if anybody took that. As for me, for my trading, I definitely was still focused on these Chinese names. I bought JD pre-market, and then a couple times throughout the trading session, made a few dollars on that one. Did the exact same thing with Baba. Also did it with Tiger. Tiger I am keeping a little bit, but those were all some pretty good trades there. I traded a good bit of the semiconductors this morning off of like this opening downside extension. AMD for the long side to a snapback to the ADMA. Micron for a snapback as well, and then I trailed it tight and got stopped out on this pullback here. SMCI for the continuation trade off of this little pattern right here. Got really strong, got extended, pulled back into the ADMA, created a pivot low, created an inside 5, and then you had a trend continuation setup that I really like, which is an inside 5 after a continuation hammer off the ADMA that broke higher for continuation. So that was another really good trade. So, for me, again, just a bunch of really good day trades out there that I was more still kind of trying to take some money and put it in my pocket real quick on some good technical trades. and they pretty much all worked today. Everything that I was involved with, as did the ones I wasn't involved with like a snow and a CELH. So I thought overall it was a really good day, and on top of that, for anyone who's bullish on this market, you got market continuation. So really good stuff. Oh, and Nvidia, I shorted and decided to keep a little bit of it. I would like to have a bit of a better profit cushion, but my position is small. I shorted that around noon this morning when this thing was relatively weak as the Qs were breaking out and becoming extended. So I wanted to short something because of the Q extension, but not the Qs themselves. I'm already actually short the Qs. I didn't think there was enough reward profile in shorting the SPY or UPRO, so I didn't do it. But then I saw the relative weakness in NVIDIA, so I shorted that. Booked some profit into this down move on the majority of my position, reshorted some off this pivot on the 21 EMA, booked that on the way down again, and then stopped trading it as actively when it broke up above these moving averages and just kept a smaller core to see how it closed. And it just closed okay, but I kept a little bit. So we will see what happens with the CPI tomorrow. I think that's all that I've got. So I am happy to take a look at anything that you guys have. So feel free to hit me with any questions or any names that anyone wants me to take a look at from their day. Happy to do so. See if I see anything here in the VTF besides a bunch of tiger memes. Check out the volume on tomorrow's PX 57, 40, and 45. Anything about the size? Okay. Are you talking about like options contracts that were going off? Or are you talking about S&P volume that you could, also read in a SPY chart through those levels? What was the high today in the actual S&P? Just look at the SPY because I don't pay for the S&P data. Looks like we closed around 57.92. Cool. Well, thanks, Bill. Oh, thanks, Austin. Yeah, no, I'm not here tomorrow and Friday. I'm flying out to Las Vegas. I am speaking at the Traders for a Cause event on Saturday, and I'm speaking again on a panel for Traders for a Cause on Sunday. And it's really a 4-day event, so I'm flying out tomorrow, and then Sunday, after the event is over, I'm renting a car and I'm driving down to Tucson. I'm going to be down in Tucson for the whole week, working from there, from an Airbnb, because then that following weekend I have a wedding in Tucson. So figured I'm flying out to Las Vegas anyway, I might as well just stay out there through the week. I've never been to Tucson before. I have very little actual Arizona experience. I've basically only been to the northern part of the Grand Canyon. Is the only time I've ever been in Arizona, so I'm looking forward to it. Hopefully it's not too hot. Anybody else have anything for today? Pat and I are going over to the New York Stock Exchange after the afternoon meeting today. We'll be over there for a couple hours, so it should be cool. Chandler, Arizona. I'm not sure where that is. Phoenix suburb. Okay, cool. When am I going back to Victor? I'm going to be back in Idaho. I'm not 100% sure yet. I'll definitely be there by the start of 2025. I'm just not 100% sure if I'm going like the last couple years, like kind of right after like Christmas, like in between Christmas and New Year's, or if I'm gonna go in like late November, early December. Not 100% sure yet. I'm ready though. Had my fill of New York for this summer, of the craziness of the city. I do love the city though. Yep, you guys, Uvixible says we demand Pat. They're looking forward to you. You guys are going to be in great hands, great hands with Patrick for morning and afternoon meetings for the next couple days. Thank you, Cyril. Anybody else? Anything from today? Kind of a straightforward day, but you know, this is where we improve as traders, and questions are always welcome. If anybody's struggling or has any questions, I'm always happy to help. So don't be bashful. If you don't want to ask them today, definitely ask them tomorrow for Pat. You guys will get the VIP treatment. Sedona's worth checking out in Arizona. Thank you. Okay, cool. It's hot as hell. All right, I'm gonna wrap up the afternoon meeting then. ARC is down 30 cents right now. I'm not seeing anything in any of some of their components that would hit it down, but I don't know all the components. All right, we'll wrap it up there. Have a great night, everybody. See you all tomorrow.